And go on your puppy pad. It's pouring down raining.
Good evening and salutations, our soap opera fans. So once again, I am joined by the amazing, the lovely Danniebear87, playing with the puppy. That's right. Let's get those views in. Let's
Rocky,
get those views in.
don't look at the camera. You don't care. Don't lick me in my face. All right, gotta go. Unless you're gonna sit here.
As long as it doesn't cause like a wardrobe malfunction, I think we'd be good.
We'll get a lot of views then. Get kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah, my channel, nah, I'm good on that. But yeah, what is your thoughts on the Ice Princess storyline so far? This 2.0 version.
Oh lordy, I don't know. It's good at times, and then sometimes I'm like, what? What is going on? I'm lost. And then I'm like, oh, now I get it. Yeah, this week, or last week since it's Sunday, I think I starting to understand better about it, what Victor's doing, because it took forever for them to get to the point of what it was he was trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been on this road for like what, like a year and a half, like 2 years. He kept talking about some sort of plan, and we just been waiting, and most people got bored and kind of forgot about it. So
Yeah. Oh, don't touch the key. Yeah, because yeah, it started back when they found Drew, didn't it? That was right before the pandemic started.
yeah,
Because I
which
remember
again,
when Holly, we saw that Holly was locked up somewhere too.
yeah,
Yeah, so going on 3 years. That's too long for a story.
that's a long time. That I mean,
Long build up,
yeah,
slow burn. Is that what they call it? Slow burn. Hella slow burn.
there was at times I thought that the writers kind of forgot that they were actually even doing this.
Me too. I'm like, did they forget what they were doing? And then they'll bring up something for like a couple episodes and then back to nothing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, at least we understood why Drew was so important to some extent because he did have like knowledge or whatever in his head that he couldn't figure out.
Mhm.
But at this point, I mean, do you even know if Drew? This is something I've been wondering. Does Drew actually have his memories back? Do you even know if we actually even have his memories back, or
That's what I don't get. Because didn't he have Jason's memories when he died?
yeah? But I thought he also got back his whole like his memories and stuff like that as well. So I think even the writers are confused at this point.
Or maybe he did because maybe he did get his memories back because Victor tried to control him with a what
Or
card? One of the
yeah,
cards, which they kind of dropped that too.
yeah,
I don't know. Well, the good thing about the storyline is that it involves so much of the vets.
yeah.
So we did get to see a lot more of Robert and Felicia and Mac.
And Holly, yep, and Holly. Don't forget about Holly.
Oh, Lordy Holly. I don't really like her, but she had me laughing on Friday's episode talking to Jordan.
And
Jordan.
they got Andre back, Andre Maddox, for some odd reason.
Oh
So
yes. I don't care. He's beautiful. He can be on screen. It don't matter what he's there for.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why we got
I
rid of
can't
him
say
in the
that.
first place.
I just remember he was there before. I'm just happy that he actually has some use on the show. Because like
Mhm.
last time he was there, he was just with Valentine and Anna. He was like, "Oh, I know the location," because they were trying to save Lucy at the time, and I'm like, hey, "You're not really needed." I mean, I know that he's just there for like women and his looks and stuff like that, but it's like at least he's actually useful. So
Yeah.
happy on that front.
Mhm. Yeah. And what happened to Lucy? She just like disappeared. It's like I thought she would at least come and check on Anna. Okay, there you go. She didn't
Good
come
evening,
check on
everyone.
Anna. We haven't seen her working. She was so ready to go back to work. Like she just disappeared after the nurses' ball. I
Yeah.
haven't even seen her and Marty either.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, as I said, you haven't even seen Marty in a minute. Well, I know he's come back Monday because I saw the previews, but
Oh
um,
yeah, yeah. They don't show the previews on Hulu. That's just wrong.
yeah, I forgot about that. They just, it's so weird whenever I watch on Hulu and I'm sitting there thinking they're going to show the previews and they don't. You're just like,
It just goes off, and I'm like, wait, hold on, or it just goes into the next episode, and I don't even realize it if I'm watching back to back episodes. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is a whole. This seems like a whole new episode.
at one point, like years ago, there was one point we actually stopped showing the previews, like about a year and a half. Like it was weird. I mean, well, I don't know when did you start watching, by the way? When did you start watching GH?
Spring of '04.
Okay. Yeah, I know there was one point for like a whole year they just stopped showing previews. I didn't understand why. It was weird, but
I don't remember that. Hmm, that's weird.
I want to tell you the truth, General Hospital is the only one that actually shows daily previews. All the other ones is just literally a week. Then that's it. So I be getting spoiled sometimes, to be honest.
Yeah, true. Because sometimes they show too much in the previews, and I'm like, everything you saw in the preview, that was the only interesting thing about the whole episode.
Yeah.
But I ain't got you to watch it.
Mm. So what's because you still only watch the three soaps, right? You still not rocking with YNR yet?
No, that's what I meant to do this weekend. I was like, I was gonna check an episode or two out because I see that Victoria and Nate are hooking up now. I'm like, about time. I had a feeling that that was gonna happen back when I stopped watching in December.
Really? Okay. What
I
and
don't
what do you think of that? What do you think of that whole thing?
I think it's interesting. It's something different. And I
Yeah.
thought that what's her name? Eilena or whatever her name is. I thought she was leaving. She was leaving Nate
Oh,
because she was mad that he betrayed his family.
oh yeah. Tucker. Yes. Eileen Davis. Yeah. I keep it because sometimes like people will sit there and quote up the actual names and just like Eileen. Who the hell is? Oh, you mean Ashley? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I thought she was leaving, but then I just saw the promo. I guess it's for, was it last week's or is it gonna be this week? That she was getting mad with somebody.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, she wasn't leaving. It was Tucker that was leaving.
Oh, he left. Oh, what's up?
Well, no. No, he's back. He was going to leave. I don't know about the actor.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
he was all like, "Oh, I'm done with this town," and yada yada yada. But now he's sitting there hanging out at the Abbots like he's living there. Jack is just all too cool with that.
Oh
So if
wow,
it was
now I
ever
gotta see that.
exactly, if it was ever time to sit there and watch it, because I saw some of the previews and I'm like, "Yo, this looks funny. This is definitely gonna be interesting." I don't know. Some people are having somewhat issues with the whole Nate and Victoria hooking up because that's his boss, and it looks like SH. I'm not going to sit there and say what it is, but the whole power dynamic. You get where I'm going, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a soap opera. You need those kind of relationships, and I think they have nice chemistry. So my philosophy is, if two characters have chemistry, the storyline can work. I'm okay with the storyline.
I'm totally fine with it. I was just not there reading, because sometimes I read the comments or whatever, and some people, are having issues with it. And I guess my whole thing is like if the roles were reversed, right? And Nate was not the him of Victoria, and Nate was his boss. Victoria would if Nate was the boss, like, would you have issues with it? Like if Nate was hooking, want to keep trying to hook up with Victoria?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
yeah,
No, because I
thanks.
probably shipped a couple where the dude was the boss. Trying to think, what sub couple would that be?
Rafe and Jada on Days.
Well, yeah, I'm liking them. which is weird because you know I always never really liked Rafe very much. Well, I kind of liked him with Sammy, but then after that it just kind of went downhill. But when him and Nicole broke up and he was being the ass to her, that's when I was like, I really like this Rafe. I think they're cute together. The way he smiles at her is cute.
Yeah. What do you think of the whole Talia situation with that guy Colin?
Mhm. Oh,
What do you
that's
think
his
of that?
name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was doing my review and I'm like, did they ever say his name? And I'm
He
like,
said
no,
his
I
name. It was really low though. It was
didn't.
extreme. I actually had to sit there and rewind it a couple of times because I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, that totally went over my head. And then the way that they showed him at the end of what was that Tuesday or Wednesday's episode they first showed him, I'm like, are we
Hmm.
supposed to know who this person is? Because I don't. He looks familiar, but I think she's stupid to like put her career on hold just to help him give it. Rocky, be quiet. Put her career on hold so that he could get revenge on the woman that didn't even kill his mom. I'm like, that's so stupid. Because you're the one that do the drugging, so if it all comes out, you're the one going to prison.
Yes.
That's stupid. And then your sister's gonna have to lock you up. Because I saw the preview for this week,
Okay.
and
So yeah.
Jada, I don't know if she has all the evidence or she just figures out that yeah, Talia did this and now I have to prove it or not prove it. So now she puts her sister in a bad position. And then she was talking about, she's gotten to know Chanel and Paulina. Now she's seemed like she's starting to feel bad about it. I'm like, oh lordy, this is a hot mess.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she kept
I
looking
was liking
guilty.
her too, but now she do this to Chanel. I don't know. But then again, I like Salone, so I don't know. Rocky, stop, lordy.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of Talia. I mean, I think when she first came on and they just magically gave her, oh, she's also a doctor as well. It was just like, it just seemed like it just came out of left field. And now she's doing all this stuff because she's in love with him. I'm like really, bro? So you gonna risk your freedom and put your sister in a bad position because you're in love? Like, I
Yeah,
just it seems so underwhelming, you know.
yeah. And who's to say that he even loves her? He could just be using her.
Well, he's definitely using her. Let's just be real. We all know at this point he's definitely using her. She's just very gullible, and it's like,
Mm.
really, I just
Yeah, and he was wanting her to do this, even though his sister would be the one to look guilty.
yeah. That was another thing. I was like, yo, you're such a dirtbag. But he's like, oh, he's counting on her sister to be a good lawyer. I'm like, bro, you're trash.
And who's to say that Sloan would want to represent Talia if this, or when it all comes out? Because we know it's going to come out. So I'm like, who's to say she would want to help her? It's Lordy. And now
Yeah, I'm not.
Salone is about to blow up Rafe and Jada um, by talking about how Rafe was kissing Jada when he was under the influence of the biscuits.
Yeah, influence of the biscuits. Yeah, that was a crazy episode, though.
Ugh, that episode made me mad. Ugh, Eric and Nicole. Oh, I'm so over them too. I wish they would just end. Rocky, why are you making noise? Go away, child. You want a puppy?
I'm good. I barely take care of myself, let alone another living being. I'm good on that.
I don't have any of your toys. Hold on.
Hmm.
There, go play with that. Oh lordy.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a huge Eric and Nicole fan, but I've only been watching the show for like maybe 3 years. I know people love them together. I guess I just look at that whole thing and I'm like, how many times are you gonna break up and get back together? I'm like, if something's not working, it's working. All y'all doing at this point is just wasting each other's time. But I guess for me, I'm more very logical. And a lot of times it's like it's very whimsical and it's very fantasy, and it's like, yeah, I'm not getting it.
I don't get it either because Eric doesn't accept Nicole for the real Nicole. He always
Well,
judge her for how she handles things, but he's no better. So he just looks stupid. I was
also,
like, if they get back together, she's gonna do something and he's gonna get mad at her and want to walk away. It's just like Sarah and Xander too. Like Xander, like Sarah marries Xander knowing who he is, but then wants to divorce him as soon as she hears him doing stupid stuff again. Rocky, go away.
I don't. And another thing that was really funny, because I did a collab with like Brock and DC, and Brock brought up a really good point. How are you going to sit there and judge this woman Nicole and you don't have a job? Like, how are you doing that? How is that even possible? It's just
Exactly.
and it's funny too because like I didn't even really think of that. Like he's going so hard on her. I'm like, bro, listen, she has a job and you're still just sitting there slumming it. Practically living upstairs with your dad, pretty much. Like you got no room to sit there and criticize anybody.
Yeah, and you failed as a priest twice.
That's what I'm kind of sitting there looking at. Like how is Sloan even sitting there like so like, oh, I want to be your girlfriend and stuff like that. So you want to be walking around with a bum, pretty much, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, it's usually the most smart, successful woman always falls for the cute idiot bum.
With
Classic show life. No, it happens in life too. I'm like, oh goodness.
Yeah, you're definitely dating below your standards at that point. Like,
Well, I mean, she did try to help him get like a studio so he can try to do something with his life, but that fell through.
yeah, um, she's the one that's not that paying for those dates. So let's just be real.
Yeah,
Just throwing
that's
it
why
out
they always at her place.
there.
Mm.
Other than that, my dude's not there eating for free, like chowder and stuff like that, because that's what she wants.
Oh,
Um,
every time they talk about that chowder, I'm just like, ew, how can I eat that? I mean, I've never tasted it, but it just looks weird. I'm like, ew, no.
there's a lot of food that's like visually not pleasing, but can taste really good though. But like, yeah, even going back to Sarah though, like, I never got that. Like, there was such a huge fan base that was like, oh, I love them together, and I love the fact that Xander changed because of Sarah's love, and I'm like, he didn't really change. He just buried it down. Like the biggest flaw about those show was the simple fact that he changed for the wrong reasons. You don't change for somebody else; you change for yourself. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not going to stick. And so, her being all upset, and there was one point she was crying. She was like, "Yeah, I knew exactly who he was." I'm like, and yet you still was going to marry this guy more than once. Like, I can't, I can't. Plus the actress, like, she kept coming and going and coming and going. It was the same thing with Victoria, just the back and forth. I'm like, pick a lane or just
Yeah.
leave.
It's hard to follow a story when one half is like gone all of them. Like, and now she done left with his baby. They didn't
Oh
even
yeah,
tell
forgot
him
about
to
that.
left with your ex. Like, oh lordy. I guess Maggie don't even know about the baby either. She just left. Like, that's just messed up.
I wonder what they're gonna sit there and do. Because I know Ron doesn't usually recast and stuff like that, which is kind of a good thing. But now you have this loose storyline, like just like when they did with Hope, like when she kept, because the actress left for a little bit, so it was just a giant hole. It's like, why are you not coming back? This, that, and the third. It was the same thing with Eric. It just, because the actor left or whatever, and you just have this giant plot hole. Like they got married, and he just decided to go to Africa. Like, really? And you supported that? Like,
I'm like, that was just stupid. Like, really? You don't leave a woman like Nicole and go to Africa.
yeah, for so many reasons. From what I heard
You
about
just
Nicole.
asking for your marriage to end
Yeah.
way faster than it would have been, maybe.
What do you think of was you ever a Bo or Hope fan or anything like that, or not
No,
really?
no, but I think Ron is trying to turn me into one. Cause yeah, after watching Beyond Salem 2, I started to like them. I'm like, why? Ugh. I mean, I always loved Bo. I didn't like Hope. I don't know. She just always seemed stuck up. And it's like Bo would do something, and then it's kind of like with Eric and Nicole, but Hope not as judgmental as Eric, but I liked Bo and Carly.
Bo and Carly, I keep forgetting that there was a Carly. You know what I'm saying? Because when you sit there and think of Carly, there's only one Carly that people, it's a soap opera. So the fact that it wasn't in Carly Ava or something like that, or Carly something, I'm just like, there's another Carly? Like, so weird.
Oh lordy, I forgot. She was married to, wasn't it Lawrence Alamane? Um, Vivian's son or nephew? Hmm. Oh lordy, now I gotta do some googling. So I remember it was Lawrence, but I can't remember how he's related to Vivian. Yeah, because I
Oh,
remember when Carla was reintroduced, she had killed him, and then Vivian was trying to bury her alive again, but Brady found out and buried Vivian instead.
so what?
Him and
Whatever
Nicole
happened?
did
So
that.
whatever happened to Carly then? Did she just leave the show? Like,
I forgot how she left, but yeah, her and Bo broke up, and Bo got back with Hope, and then I guess she just left. I don't remember how it happened. I don't remember. Yeah, now I have to do some googling.
yeah, I'm gonna
but
have to do that a little bit too after that. Um,
but they messed her up having her hook up with Daniel and making Melanie. Oh, those two. Oh lordy.
there's another. See, that's the thing with soaps and stuff like that. A lot of times, like, there's so many different versions. Like the names. Like, if I sit there and say Finn, people are either going to be like, "You mean Finn on GH or Finn on B&B
Mhm.
or Victor?"
There's only I mean,
Or,
I grew up watching Kyriakis. I only known Victor Cassadine for however long he's been in town. I don't think I heard about him until he came to town. Yeah, I think so. But now there's only one, unfortunately. Hmm.
yeah, because the other actor's going to be leaving soon, and we know what happened to John. So you still got mustache. Still got I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that expression. That was priceless. I appreciate that.
I cannot stand that dude. Oh lordy, he just get on my nerves.
The great Victor Newman.
I can't stand him. Oh, every time he shows up, I'm like, why? Why do you want to torture me? Do you not want me to watch your show?
For me, I guess like even like because I was always an ABC person, but I always knew like if I didn't know anybody else on YNR, I knew Victor.
Hmm.
For better or worse, it was like that guy. It was like I knew who he was. So I know how much Danny Bear, you know, loves her Victor, her mustache.
Lordy, someone
What
just needs to get him one good time.
I don't
I
know.
just don't
I'm a fan.
understand.
I'm a fan. But have you been watching Bambita?
Oh yeah, I've been enjoying it. Well, I was, but now it's starting to go downhill again. Oh lordy, but it
Or
might
what?
come up. But I was enjoying the Sheila stuff, and now she's locked up. Like they've been on the Hope and Thomas stuff. And I'm like, ugh. And now RJ's back, and I'm like, well, I don't know who RJ. Well, I know who he is now, but I don't know. I don't. Well, I don't know. What was I saying?
RJ?
I'm like, well, now I know who he is, but I haven't watched B&B that long, so I don't know
Yeah. How long you been watching Bambita?
about his character. Since last February.
Okay, so you're new. You're like new. You're fresh.
Yeah. Well, I watched it for a few months back in um '09, 10, but that was so long ago. I don't even think that many people are still on the show that were back then.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't even remember that time honestly. So I would say I'm more of a new viewer within the
yeah,
last year. Yeah, year 12, yeah, 14 months. Yeah, because Days of Our Lives, they were off for the Winter Olympics. And I was watching Y&R regularly again. And so I was like, well, I'll check out Bold and Beautiful. And so then I just got hooked.
yeah. For me, Born and Beautiful is very short. And that's another thing that I do like about it. It's like you get like 18 minutes in, give or take, and then that's it. The problem with B&B is the repetitiveness. Like how many times can you sit there and listen to Liam whine and complain to Steffi about Thomas? Like at some point, I'm like, yo, this chick got to get to work. Like you've just been going over the same things over and over again. I'm like, bro, you're missing meetings with your brother. Like your whole life is falling apart because of your insecurities. Like, bro, you need to like get it together. So this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm like, just like, shut up. It's like, he just really annoys me. It's like, I don't know, just something about him. Nothing against Scott. I loved him when he was Dylan on GH. But Liam is just really annoying. And that name, I don't know why I don't like that name. It's just something about that name I don't like. And
Okay.
I'm like, and he's just so boring. Him and Hope are so boring. I'm like, why are they on my TV? Get them off. And they live in that little whatever it is house they live
Shack,
in.
a little
Oh my
shack,
gosh. Like why would
fire
Duffers want
hazard.
to live there? I'm like, goodness, I thought my house was small, but I swear I had more room. They have that giant fireplace. I'm like, did they even use that? They live in California. I'm like, oh lordy. But I think that Hope is going to try to get with Thomas somehow. That's just my feeling. Because Thomas is in a good place now. He's actually working on himself. So he's looking more appealing and Liam is boring. And she's a Logan, so I mean, it's only a matter of time before she tries to get back with her ex. Cause look at Brooke. She's talking about she wants to be good friends with Taylor, but then she's like practically all over Ridge. Like they kissed at Christmas, and then that dinner alone, and she's in her little nighty thingy,
Hmm.
and now their one kid that they made together is back. I'm like, something's gonna happen with them. I just
Yeah.
feel it, which is
Oh
so
yeah.
wrong because I like Brooke and Taylor as friends. I like that. Because Ridge is, I don't see a reason to want Ridge. I mean, maybe if you were a gold digger, but Taylor and Brooke are intelligent, rich women. So
Yeah.
I don't get the appeal. I'm like, they need some more men in LA, I guess, because yeah, the way he just goes back and forth just over this year, I'm like, I can't believe people actually had to suffer through this for like 35 years. I'm like,
Mm.
this is what y'all been watching all this time? I feel sorry for you, Lordy. I thought it was bad with me watching Passions with Ethan and Teresa and Gwen fighting for each other. I'm like, no, that was entertaining. This with Taylor, Ridge, and Brooke is just repetitive. It's the same thing every episode. It's like everybody has the same conversation. It's very boring.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't see
very.
I don't see a reason to root for either couple. I don't get it.
For a hot minute, they seemed like, and granted, this is just like on surface level. It seemed like they kept flirting the idea of Brooke and Taylor being a thing. Tell me you didn't.
That's how I
Yeah.
felt it was gonna happen. I'm like, now that would be good television.
Yeah.
That's a good twist. And
They
Rick
kept
is
floating
like
that idea.
looking like, oh no. That'd been funny.
But you know that wasn't gonna happen. Not on CBS. Not
Or
on CBS.
if Ron was writing, that would happen.
Oh yeah, no, in a heartbeat. But Ron probably would have been fired at that point. So they don't even show Tess and Mariah. They barely show them. CBS is just more about a check bar than anything else. It's like they're saying, "Oh yeah, we care about the LGBT community, and we'll sit there and show diverse characters." But even during the 50th anniversary, Mariah and Tess weren't there. So like, how important are those characters? That you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a check mark for them. So you knew that they were, and also there's other reasons why they would never put like an LGBT character on Bold and Beautiful because of Dubai. Because they do international and Dubai, I guess it's like their biggest, country or whatever, and they're not really about that lifestyle. So that's like never gonna happen.
They live in LA.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, no. To us, like to the rest of the world, that's like, it's in the mindset of 2023. But to Dubai, it's like 1950 or something like that, They're
Okay.
not about, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because I know with wrestling, WWE does shows out there. If the first time they went over there, they wouldn't let the women wrestle, and then now if they let them wrestle, they have to be all covered up.
yeah,
I'm like, wow. I was like head to toe, all covered up. Because if you see women wrestlers, a lot of them
yeah,
show a lot of stuff.
yeah, yeah, of
I'm like,
course.
it's just weird.
Well, yeah, it's
Um,
very archaic over there, and
yeah.
that's just sucks. There's really nothing else to damn say about it. Um, they
Oh.
kept they kept floating that idea around. Um, what do you think about the women coming back? Like, did you like that story? Like, they were dead and then they came back, and Kayla, Marlena. Did you like that part, or what are your
Um.
thoughts on
Oh, I just knew that they were still alive. I'm like, there's no way they could kill off Marlena for good. That would just be stupid. Um, Kayla, may Kate definitely. If you kill off Kate, I don't think many people will be sad about that. Kayla
that?
maybe, but Marlena, you just asking to get canceled. I know there was a lot of years where she wasn't. Her and John weren't on, but still, there was always a chance for them to come back. Dead, no. But yeah, I had a feeling that they were gonna come back. Wasn't exactly sure how they were coming back, but yeah, I wasn't surprised.
And I think that's the thing though. Like, they did this whole dying story. And although they actually had a couple of good episodes, like them being in hell or heaven or whatever, like the overall thing was like they just came right back. It's like their deaths didn't really matter.
Mhm.
In the grand scheme of everything, none of their deaths really matter.
Yeah, they didn't.
It was more of a plot device for like other things, like having Megan come back and or her shenanigans and um little guest appearance. Like what was that guy's name? Um, he tricked them or whatever. What was
Oh,
his name?
Nick
Yeah,
Allen.
yeah. So it was more plot than anything else. It didn't really serve an overall purpose. And I mean, granted, I haven't been watching the show that long, but I know that those actors have been on there for years, so they weren't just going to just kill them off. So that's another thing I just found kind of very silly about the whole thing. In reality,
Hmm.
it's like it didn't really matter. You
Yeah,
know,
just like a lot of deaths on Days of Our Lives. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about Days of Our Lives is they keep killing people off and just bringing them back. It's like it's not gonna mean anything when you finally kill off a character for good because everybody's gonna still think that maybe they'll come back. Like Susan, I'm like, I still think she's out there alive somewhere.
oh yeah, no, she's definitely alive. I mean,
I thought she was gonna come back with Kate and Kayla and Marlena somehow, but uh, I don't know. Maybe she's with Kate on her little fish boat somewhere. But yeah, I mean, unless the actor dies, like John Aniston, I
Yeah,
don't believe that the character is actually dead. Because I'm sure Abby will come back too when they decide that they want to cause trouble for Chad and Stephanie.
yeah. I mean, it's I think the whole reason why she left is because she didn't want to be on there full time. She wanted to only be on there part time, and it was like that's not going to work. And it
Yeah.
makes sense. It's like they're married, they have kids. How are you just going to be coming and going? Just like what are you going to be doing? We're like, what's your excuse for you're going to be gone as long as you are? So it didn't really make a lot of sense. So I understood why they killed her off, but they're probably going to bring her back. They bring back Sierra for some odd reason. So,
Mhm.
which she hasn't really been serving any purpose. I'm like, why are you two here? I'm pregnant. Cool. Why does anyone care?
I mean, I like Ben and Sarah together, but yeah, their last time together on the show, all they did was have sex. I'm like, they have like no storyline, except for when they had baby Bo. I mean, but even that was just kind of blah. But I mean, I guess with Bo and Hope getting back together, it'd be good to see the whole family together.
Yeah, yeah. I give them that much. I do. I do. I don't understand why they are dragging this Bo and Hope story out because I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep the characters or the actors there. You know, he comes back, they're reunited. Oh, he's in a coma. What? Like, what
Yeah,
are y'all doing?
I did not see that coming at all. I'm like, wow. And I still, where did he get shot at? I was
All I
trying
can
to
tell
figure
was
it
the
out.
head or the neck. Like they bandaged his neck and his head. I'm like,
I'm like, because Sean would have had to shoot him from the side. So I'm like, where did the bullet go? And then Andrew comes in with the chip. I swear he said that he found it in his head. So then I'm like, then how did he get? I didn't see him get shot in the head. I'm
well, I
like,
mean, obviously they're not gonna. I don't know if they're actually gonna go that far. Um, I mean, granted, they did have a threesome, so I mean, anything kind of goes to some extent. So
yeah,
yeah,
they're on Peacock now, so they can push it a little bit. But I don't know. I just think that that was, yeah. I mean, I can understand um, wanting to drag it out a little bit for Bo and Hope, for Bo to remember his love for Hope, but to do all this is kind of like what? They just found him alive, and now he could be dying. That's just a little too much.
yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like Bo and Hope. Like, I don't have anything against them, but I know there's a lot of people that love them. Love their characters and stuff. And ever since Bo's got back, it's like, what has he done? He's kidnapped his sister. He wants to sit there and be like a millionaire. I'm like, what are you doing? And then like, I'm not gonna lie, the acting when he was sitting there trying to not remember, and Hope was like, no, you gotta remember our love. It was so cringy. It was even for a soap opera. It was just so over the top. I'm like, this is wow.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm happy to see Bo back and that Bo and Hope are gonna have their little happily ever after. But yeah, some scenes are just like what. But I don't know. He had some funny lines in there. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm still gonna give the storyline a chance since it's still playing out. Give it a chance to play out and try not to judge along the way. But I do fail. I do fail in that sometimes.
Well, here's the thing. You are more nicer than I am. I think that's what it really comes
I know
down
I've
to.
been watching some of your lives, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Really
I
deep?
do
I'm
go in.
like, damn.
Yeah.
No filter. Like,
Well, I do always sit there and say on sometimes my reviews, I'm like, listen, if you want somebody nice, you go to Danniebear87 because I'm not. I'm gonna give you a different energy.
mm-hmm.
Love it or hate it, I'm cooking these characters. So
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I can definitely listen to somebody. talk total mess about a show or characters, even if they're my favorite, because there's a lot of truth in there too. Like, especially, I know you probably are talking mad crap about Nina.
Oh, Jesus
I'm like,
Christ, that woman, Ninaisms. That's what I sit there and call what she does, Ninaisms, because she is on a whole new level when it comes to his delusion. She actually said that Sonny would understand, her calling, her putting Carly in jail, and I'm just like, what? Like when Ava's not there, like when she can't defend you and she's not there trying to give you logic, I'm like, bro, you done effed up somewhere. Like somewhere along the line, you done effed up, and only to like towards the end, she was like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" I'm like, "Bro,
too late. I'm like, Lordy. I'm like, I can't even defend her anymore.
you're
She's
actually defending her."
you can't. I can't defend anything that she does anymore. I'm like, usually I'm like, okay, I can understand why she would do this, but this it just makes no sense. I'm like, you're mad at Carly because she has a relationship with your daughter, but then you're going to screw over Carly. So how do you think Willow's going to feel about that? Not only that, how do you think Sonny's going to feel about his daughter's mother being in prison?
Yeah,
You think Sonny's going to understand that? Girl, you're not in Nixon Falls. Oh, you're not talking to my Sonny is not going to understand, girl. He's just stupid. I'm like, oh, see, this is why you need to talk to people before you do something stupid. She should have talked to Ava first before she did this. Well,
yeah, and that's
if she'd have talked to Ava would have told her not to do this, so it would not have happened.
what I don't understand is, and this is still just kind of ass backwards to me. So when she found out Ava was, because she was like, "Oh, you practically gave me the idea," and Ava was like, "Oh, I was just using reverse psychology." I'm like, revert, like how? Help me make sense out of that. How is it you gave her the idea to tell her to call the FCC or whatever that acronym is called, and then she does it, and you're like, no, that was just reverse psychology. I'm like, all right, so there's bad storytelling, and then there's whatever it is that they did, because none of that makes any sense.
Mhm.
And I guess I just, for me, whenever I'm doing these lives, I always find it very funny how people will sit there who really love Nina and defend her like there's no tomorrow, and I'm just like, you can't defend this. Like,
You can't. No, that's just blind love.
yeah,
Not even I have that. Like, if my favorite is doing something stupid, I'd be the first one to call them out on it. Definitely.
yeah, I don't get that. I mean, it is what it is. Everyone has their different opinions and the different viewpoints. But the one thing that I always find very laughable when people try to defend Nina is to bring up Carly. Like for some odd reason, like if you bring up Carly's sins and all the stuff that she did bad, it's gonna make Nina look a lot better. And I'm like, that's not how that works. At the end, you're just gonna have two trash ass characters. So no one wins. It doesn't make that character look better. But I always find it very funny when people do that.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just what Nina does. Everything Nina does stupid. It's Carly's fault.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go. Got me on Carly's side now, Nina. Oh, Lordy.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not no one's supposed to say that Carly is like perfect or anything like that, but for the most
mhm.
part, she does tend to own some of her stuff. She doesn't sit there and constantly blame it on somebody else. Oh, well, she did this and she did that. It's like Diane and Phyllis. I don't know which one is actually more
uh,
delusional. Yeah,
I'm sure there's, oh, Lordy. That's why I just couldn't stand about that show. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know the character of Diane. All I know is from what she's done since she's been back, which is nothing. So
yes,
so Phyllis, Ashley, and Nikki wanting to take her down just makes them all look really stupid.
and
They
petty.
have like no lives.
Yeah, yeah, and it's petty as hell. I was like, yo, and my whole thing is with Phyllis. I was like, Phyllis, you do realize that you got to work, right? Like, Nikki got money, Ashley got money. You just sold your hotel. You ain't got nothing else to fill up your time. Like, really, bro? Like, this is what you plan on doing at 12 o'clock in the afternoon? Is finding ways to take Diane down, and it's the people that have been defending Phyllis and her actions have been just laughable. I'm like, I don't know what she did back then. She did some crazy stuff. Phyllis did some crazy stuff. I'm talking about what has Diane done since she's gotten back, which hasn't been a damn thing. But people would be like, oh, well, she's been lying. She lied about her past. She did this. I'm like, but like, I don't want to sit there and say that stuff doesn't matter, but in the grand scheme of stuff, like, I don't find that a reason to sit there and justify Phyllis's hate or everyone's hate and be like, you got to take Diane down. I'm just like, okay, all right, guys, I'm gonna let y'all rock with whatever that is.
Lordy. It's just I don't understand that storyline.
But I understand why you don't watch the show because they have bad storytelling. Like
Mhm.
they don't show stuff; they tell stuff. So
Mhm.
like they don't show Phyllis that's like I don't know like what 120 pounds somehow getting the best of Jeremy Stark, which is like what like a good 200. Or you don't know that she killed Jeremy Stark. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
That would
you
have
know.
been one of the main reasons I would start watching again. Because I just love James Hyde.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a wrap. Yeah, no, yeah. You might as well just nix that whole idea. That's done.
Yeah. I don't think I can watch the show now. No. I mean, Daniel and Lily, I wanted to see them together. But I mean, I really like Germany. And the show needs good villains. Every show needs a good villain. And a good looking, good villain, that would that would definitely get me to watch a show. But yeah, it's hard to watch Y&R. They didn't really have any good storylines, or they didn't put any of the couples I wanted together. Um, yeah, so I can't watch a show. Give me at least one good storyline and one good couple to root for, and I can watch the show.
Okay. Well, I mean,
That's how I got with Bold and the Beautiful. Is I liked Quinn and Carter, and then they had the storyline with Finn still being alive and Sheila keeping them hostage and stuff. That's what really hooked me with Bold. But
that was actually a good storyline. I did not see that coming, and I generally loved it.
yeah, I think that was like the best soap storyline last year. I would say.
Yeah, and Finn's the actor's line. I mean, his acting definitely improved. So I was with it because I'm not gonna lie, I did criticize his acting heavily, but he was killing it in those scenes. So I got to give him his props. Um, I don't know what they're gonna do with Kimberly Brown now because she's on contract. So it's like they can't really, keep her in jail because well, she still needs to be on the show. I
Mhm.
don't know what the hell they're gonna do with that. But I did like the fact that Ridge and Bill was working together because
Yeah,
I don't
that
even know
was
that
a
full
huge
history. Yeah,
that was
yeah,
a
that was
huge
a
twist. I'm
twist.
like,
Yeah,
I'm like, well, it makes sense now. So then I just felt like I needed to apologize to Bill for all the stuff I was saying about him.
oh, Dollar Bill, Zombie Bill. That's what they were calling him. They were calling him Zombie Bill for a hot minute. But I did like that twist though. So
um,
I do want to get that necklace one day. That necklace that he has, the sword necklace.
mhm.
I'm gonna get that by the end of this year. I want to get that necklace.
Didn't
I
it
don't
have
even
like a
know.
listening device in it or a camera or something in it? That's why he was wearing it.
I don't even know. No, he was just wearing it because whenever he's in his dark mode, whenever he's ready to do some really bad stuff, he puts on the sword. Like he's evil now. So yeah,
Oh lordy. But now he's back to being thirsty, Bill. Lordy.
and Katie is just indulging in this BS, which I'm just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing? Why are you like, why if you don't want to be with somebody, why would you even entertain the idea of going to dinner with them?
Hmm. Especially alone.
Yeah. And then Carter actually said when she was going, "Have fun, Katie. Have fun, bro." You like not that long ago you were literally like there knocking boots, and you sitting there telling her to have fun on her date. Like what?
Carter's dead to me, anyways. Those two, those two are boring, and he's dead to me. I don't care. I hope in that Bill steals Katie from him.
Yeah, that
Gonna
would say a
sit
lot
up,
about Katie.
yeah, he gonna sit up there and tell Katie that him and Quinn were just sex. No, they're more than
Mm,
that. I mean, I only saw them for a few months together, but I felt that there was more than just sex between those two. It was just the writers just, just want to hurt me as
yeah,
personal.
well, they they did the actress dirty, and they wound up doing the character dirty by just leaving him just randomly, like, oh, I'm not ready to be in a relationship. Yo, this you saw when that chick was Cynthia trying to get to the wedding, she was biking it, she was
Yeah.
running, she was marathoning it, and now you're gonna sit there and say she left and she went to Paris or something? Wow, you really didn't like the actress that much. Like you can tell.
And no respect for her, the character, fans, nothing. Like, that's just messed up.
Isn't it amazing that that show is actually still in the air? Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll watch like Wine R&B and B, and I'm like, how is this show still on the air? Like some of it's not, they're not terrible shows. They could be better, but some of the stuff that they do sometimes, it just makes you question like, out of all the soap operas that got canceled, y'all two are still on the air. That's amazing.
I think it's because they draw in the older crowd.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. That's why they get the most views too. It's just the older crowd watching The Price is Right, the news, and then they just watch whatever else comes on after it.
Yeah, it's. I don't think that you're actually. I know we're laughing about this, but I don't think you're actually wrong. I think that's actually a good marketing strategy. They
Hmm.
got them coming on back to back, and then they got their little talk show right afterwards. So it's it's perfect.
Yeah, I think that the worst soap that they canceled was One Life to Live. Well,
Well,
I personally think it was Passions because that's my all-time favorite soap. But I think when One Life to Live got canceled, that was just the messed up one because I thought that was the best written soap at the time.
yeah, it was actually really good, and it's funny too because that was my first one I started watching. Like One Life to Live got me into watching all these other soaps, and then of course Port Charles got me into watching General Hospital. So.
Mhm.
But in all reality, I mean, have you ever seen Port Charles? Like, was you watching that show back then?
Yeah, when I started watching it is when they started with the vampire stuff, and
Wow. Okay, so
I was
we
like, I
watched it
thought
on the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were doing all before, but then I like saw clips of earlier shows or read about earlier episodes, and I'm like, oh, so they just turned into that. I'm like, oh wow. Well, I tuned in at the good time. Yeah, because I was watching, I was like, it's kind of like a cross between Passions and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So that pulled me in, and then later it got me to watch General Hospital because Kelly Monica. I saw Kelly Monica was on GH then, and
Wow. Interesting. So Port Charles actually got you into watching General Hospital. Also, that's interesting. That's literally the same thing that got me into watching it because I've always, when I was watching Port Charles, I always felt like I was watching half of a show. Because technically they're all in one universe. Like Port Charles and General Hospital, and well, practically all of them at the time. But I was like, I wanted to sit there and watch the rest of what was going on. So I think that's when I started watching. They had Jacob Young as Lucky back then.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I like when I started watching. Greg was lucky. I think Jacob had just left not too long before. Um,
Yes.
well, I think it had been a while because he was on already on All My Children as Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I started watch. Well, I watched All My Children on and off my whole life because that was my mom and Nana's favorite soap. But I started watching more regularly around the time when Jacob came in as JR, and they had the Baby Switch storyline going on with One Life to Live, and then that's how I got into One Life to Live.
Hmm. Oh, that marketing strategy definitely worked.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was watching All My Children, and it's just like I feel like I missed something, but I'm like, I just watched that episode, and my mom was like, "Oh, you gotta watch One Life to Live too." I'm like, "Oh, that's that soap that comes on after it." That's back in the SoapNet days. I used to
Oh,
watch that night.
I used to love that channel. I used to love that channel so much. I used to sit there and watch the soap talk with Lisa Renna and Ty
Uh,
Treadway, whatever, when they
yeah,
used to show the different people that would come on. And they used to actually have original soaps like on there, and they had like really old shows like Dallas and Knots Landings and stuff like that. Like apparently before I was born, so apparently those were like great shows back in the day.
yeah. I remember the everybody talking about the Who Shot JR. I was like, that's probably like one of the biggest storylines of prime time
Yeah,
back in the day. I was like, I watched the newer version with Jesse Metcalf and some other people.
yeah, on TNT. Yeah,
Yeah, but
it didn't hit the same.
uh, no, I enjoyed it. I watched that more than the original because I was a Jesse Metcalf fan. But yeah, I think it would be cool to go back and binge watch the original. I'm sure it's on one of the streaming services I have. Not most
One
of
of the what?
them.
Yeah, like one of the eight. I think I have like six streaming services at this point, so it's like so bad. I mean,
Uh,
money wise, it's just bad.
well, I technically only pay for Hulu, and then my husband pays for Peacock, and then we get Netflix, Paramount Plus, and Apple TV free for being with T-Mobile. And then
Nice.
my sister has HBO Max and Disney Plus for free, so we got her login for that.
Yes.
And then my mom has Prime for free, and she bought me the Fire Stick a few years ago for my birthday. And when I plugged it in, I realized it was already signed into her account. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I get Prime for free too. So yeah, so little freeloaders. Especially since one of my Twitter friends had told me Hulu was doing a special or whatever at in the last year for Christmas, 199 a year, a month for a year. I'm like, sure, I think I'll get Hulu again because it was on my uncle's account, but unfortunately he passed away,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry to hear that.
yeah, thank you. And I was trying to, I was like, well, I already have his account. I'll just put my credit card information on there. And it wouldn't let me. So I'm like, oh, I'll just create an account one day. And then I heard about the promotion. That's the word I'm looking for. I heard about the promotion. So I was like, oh, yeah, I think it's a good time to get back with Hulu, especially because the ABC app sucks. I hate that app so much. It is so slow. And if you don't watch it regularly, it will sign you out, and it's such a pain to try to get signed back in. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's so bad. I'd rather pay for a service
yeah,
so I can watch my ABC shows.
yeah. I look at it like because I got Paramount Plus and I got Peacock and Hulu and stuff. I mean, granted, I was always gonna have Hulu, but like for me, I just write it off as a business expense because I'm already doing reviews and stuff like that. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, it's kind of high, but I'll just mark it off as a business expense. You know, hopefully I could try to get a write off. I'm being dead ass serious about that.
Yeah. I mean, you have to watch your soaps in order to do your job. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it works.
just like all these damn notebooks or whatever. I'll sit there and start trying to write that off as well.
Oh, I put them in my phone. I put my notes in my phone because I'm usually always have my phone in my hand when I'm watching soaps, anyways.
It does make sense.
Yeah, even though my phone seems to like to change words, and if I use the microphone, it'll change it. I guess I don't enunciate correctly or something, and so it just like creates something completely different than what I said. And then I'm like, what in the world was I trying to say here?
Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna. I do remember. I do remember watching one of the reviews, and you was looking at your phone, and you were just like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And you said you took a few seconds, whatever, trying to like realize what you initially wrote. I literally remember watching that because I was at work and I was watching one of your reviews. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why my phone. Even if I spell a word correctly, it'll change it to another word. I'm like, why are you trying to make me look stupid when I'm trying to send a text message? So
yeah,
rude.
your phone is not looking at you like, no, that's not how you spell it. Let me spell it for you. Let me spell it my way.
Yeah. Or just change the whole sentence to something completely different.
Yeah,
I'm like, I swear I wasn't drunk when I sent that.
that's good. 'Cause usually during my lives, I tend to start to get drunk at some point, so which is actually really bad. But yeah,
Lordy. Some of the reviews I should be drinking when I do, because, oh, Lordy, stuff be happening. Like
I
reviewing
just
that biscuit episode.
I'm not gonna lie. I found that episode to be funny. Like I was dreading it because I knew that Nicole and Eric were gonna get together, so I was dreading it. But watching it and him trying to take the banana and sit there and take pictures of it, I was like, you know what? I'm with it. I'm with it.
Oh Lordy, and Johnny proposing to Chanel. I'm like, watch Wendy come up, and I'm like, there she goes right
Yeah.
there.
But you know what? In all reality, as far as women is concerned, on like as far as like what I sit there and think like beautiful whatever, Jada shot to the shot. Jada shot to the chop at that point.
Mhm.
There was one point that Jada was sitting there wearing an outfit that you can only put on Peacock. You could not sit there and wear what she was wearing on daytime TV. And I was like, all right, Jada done went to the top as far as my favorite women actress, as far as like look good.
Oh, was when Rafe was looking at her on the
Yeah, I was like,
I was
damn.
like, well, damn, Jada. I'm like, Rafe, you perv.
But to be fair, I was also a pervert, so it was like I would honestly, Church, I'm not gonna. But here's the thing: think about what she was wearing. I was like, bro, what are you into? Because he's sitting there looking at her in a certain way, and she's wearing like some type of dominatrix outfit. I'm just like,
Yeah, she needed her whip. If she would have pulled out a whip, I would have died.
but then you sit there and think, you just like, yo, how kinky is rape at this point? Like, bro, so that's what you into? You into like whips and tying and stuff? You got like a 50 Shades of Grey thing going on? Like, it's crazy. Give him some more layers, so I'm not complaining. But Jada wearing that outfit, I'm also not complaining. Girl was on point. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
Mm,
But I think we done kind of got through pretty much all the soaps, even Y&R. And I know you haven't been watching Y&R.
mm,
So I also you are a lot more comfortable on live streaming than you were before. So I
mm.
thought you were fine. I literally I was like, you're a natural. You've been doing these reviews like what, 2 years now? Three, four, five?
I'm, I have no idea. I don't know, but I was doing them back when Julian was still alive on GH, and he's been dead almost 3 years now.
You're kind of OG at this point. You
Yeah,
got more you got more miles than me. So that's why I felt like you were going to be fine the first time. I was like, and granted, I do apologize because I did kind of ambush you the first time. Like, all right, we're going live. And you're just kind of like, I'm sorry, what?
yeah, I don't know. I guess yeah, doing the reviews, and then I don't know. I guess after just starting, and then just I don't know, just flows.
Yeah. And you're definitely flow with go with the flow kind kind of go. Um, anything you want to sit there and say before we sit there and head out?
Um,
Last words.
um, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sitting there putting you on the spot. Like, to be fair, I did do that to DC yesterday and Brock TV. So yeah,
Oh
I do want
Lord.
to, but I do want to sit there and thank you for. Also, one day I want to sit there and see you do a live. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for you to sit there and do a live stream.
Oh Lordy. Oh Lordy. I probably have to drink for that.
I do,
Settle my nerves.
you're fine. Honestly, touch you have a very nice and warm, bubbly personality. So
Thank
you would definitely kill it. You've been doing this for like years, so I know that live. And trust me, I get it. Live streaming is a little bit different than like just doing a video and then ending and just going about your day. But I think you would have a lot of fun doing it. That's all I'll say there. So you'd be pretty good at it.
you. Oh, well, thank you. I'll think
Well,
about it. But been thinking about doing some other kind of videos, instead of just the reviews. I don't know, but
change it up every now and then. I mean, I, I will sit there and say this. Like you doing a live stream or whatever, there's probably going to be a lot of people that's going to talk to you about the soaps or whatever. So let's just sit there and say you're doing like, I don't know, a wrestling review or you're talking about wrestling stuff. A lot of people are still going to be like, so what do you sit there and think of Bo and Hope? Or what do you sit there and think of this, that, and the third? So just keep that in mind because, you will have your subscribers that they're talking about soaps, 'Cause they probably
uh,
going to want to hear what you guys say live.
yeah. I don't talk about wrestling on my channel anymore though. Actually been taking a break from wrestling. It was same old stuff. Nothing
No
special.
boring.
Pretty boring.
So you just been sticking with the reviews then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and if I see any soap news, I do some videos about soap news, but I haven't been on Twitter really, so I really don't know what's new with soap news.
You
Unless I go
know,
on Google and sometimes it suggests me to read an article about soaps, and that's how I end up seeing the soap news.
yeah, me too. I know that Twitter can be somewhat of a very toxic place when it comes towards like soap Twitter or whatever.
Hmm.
I kind of go in there for like different, let's say, nefarious reasons. So I don't usually deal with like the soap drama or whatever because I know it's just a headache I don't want to sit there and deal with unless I really kind of have to, you know. Yeah, one day I think it would be kind of a cool idea that you do a live, just want to throw it out there. But I do want to thank everyone for joining. Again, like I was saying yesterday, um, all positive prayers and everything like that to Eric Braden because I know he's going through bladder cancer and stuff like that. So saying, yeah, yeah, you've been kind of out the loop for a while. Um, I'm sorry.
Well, way out of the loop. I did not know that about him. Wow.
Yeah, and I found out like during a live like a couple weeks ago. So yeah. But he's a fighter. The dude's been around for a while, so he's gonna be fine. Just send all your positive wishes, prayers, juju, whatever you can sit there and think of. Just send it to Eric Braden's way. He's a fighter, so he's gonna be fine. It's just one of many things that you guys sit there and do in life. So, but I do want to thank everyone for joining. If you are not subscribed to Danniebear87, please subscribe to her. I follow her stuff. I watch her videos. I'm going to leave a link to her channel in the description box below. Also, you can sit there and hit the membership YouTube program because we have a lot of fun during that time. But yeah, definitely subscribe to Danniebear87. I definitely believe in her channel. I believe in her. She's a lot of fun. She's very funny and bubbly. And if you want somebody that's going to be nice, unlike me, this is your girl you want to sit there and go to. So definitely subscribe to her channel. I
And
want to
just
thank
be
you.
prepared. Just be prepared for me to mix up character names. I do that a lot. I know it's sad.
No, actually, here's the thing. So for the fact that you actually watched you watched 3 shows, and you gotta sit there and remember each and every single person's name. It's kind of a lot, and there's doubles too. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
I'm like, which soap is am I talking about?
And then you got Ned and you got Justin played by the same actors, so it could be very confusing. Which even more confusing is the fact that I feel like Justin and Ned, like there's no personality difference, so that doesn't help either.
No different. They just dress differently.
But everyone, thank you all for watching. Again, subscribe to Danniebear87. I will leave her channel in the description box below. And for members, I will sit there and see you probably in a few hours once I get my laptop charged up. So just be on the lookout for that. Have a good night, everyone. Laters.
All right. Bye.